All right, so let's watch some Bryce Mitchell videos. So this is UFC fighter Bryce Mitchell talking about Elon Musk.
You've been critical of Elon Musk. How do you feel about his involvement with the Doge?
Well, I think that time will prove me correct. Time will always reveal someone's true character, and if you put that man in a position of power, his true character will be revealed. And let's just put it this way. He has all the money in this country. He's the wealthiest man in the country, and he wasted on rockets, man. Think about it, dude. He could actually help people with that money, but he don't give a about you. He's got all the money in the world to help you. It'd be a penny to him, and you would never have to work again. He don't give a about you, though. He wants to waste it on rockets and waste it on all these cars that suck. And time will reveal the character of that man. And the more he gets under the spotlight, you can't fake it forever. His character will be revealed, and you mark my words, it will be seen that he is a rat bastard. And, if I had all that money, I would like to think I would help people more than he does.
So that's wonderful. That's absolutely right. I like the thing that he said in the very beginning. To test a man's character, you give him power. So now that Elon is in a position of power, well, let's see what kind of character he's got. Let's see here. Let's see another video. Here's another video where he's talking about Hitler. Let's read actually a little bit here. Dana White's the guy that runs UFC, and he says, he was absolutely against what he said about Hitler. Dana White says, we reached out to Bryce immediately when we read what he said, let him know exactly how we felt about it. But what he said was beyond disgusting, and he needs a real education on the facts surrounding Hitler and World War II. So he hasn't faced any action, so apparently you could say dumb things, right? So in a way, that's free speech absolutism. But Dana White added, Hitler is one of the most disgusting and evil human beings to ever walk the earth. And anyone that even tries to take an opposing position is a moron. That's the problem with the internet and social media. You provide a platform to a lot of dumb and ignorant people. So Mitchell had said that the German dictator was a good guy and the Holocaust ain't real. He's a 30-year-old American ranked 13th in the featherweight division, made a range of different comments in his first podcast. So let's go back and take a look at what he had said. So here is his comments on Hitler.
I really do think before Hitler got on meth, he was a guy I'd go fishing with. He fought for his country. I honestly think that Hitler was a good guy based upon my own research, not my public education indoctrination. I really do think before Hitler got on meth, he was a guy I'd go fishing with.
Before Hitler got on meth, it was that damn meth that ruined Hitler. That's what ruined Hitler. Not that he was an all-powerful, scapegoating, dictator, autocratic, fascist,
He fought for his country. He wanted to purify it by kicking the greedy Jews out.
He wanted to purify it. Listen, this is anti-Semitic as hell. As much as I criticize Israel, there's a lot of Jewish entertainers. I've only known one Jewish person in my lifetime, but the Jewish celebrity, and I liked her. She was a nice Jewish woman, an older Jewish woman. But you're allowed to be Jewish. You're not allowed to commit crimes. You're not allowed to do genocide. You're not allowed to murder 300,000 children. Murdering 300,000 children, that's a little too much. If you're okay with murdering 300,000 children, do you have a red line? Do you have any moral compass whatsoever? Do you have a soul at all? So, I like Jon Stewart, Sarah Silverman, Larry David. These are funny guys, David Schwimmer, they are funny people. Spielberg, one of the greatest directors ever. So, it's not the religion. It's you're allowed to be whatever religion you want to be. You can express your religious sentiments however you want to. You're not allowed to commit crimes, That's the First Amendment. That's what the First Amendment says.
That were destroying his country and turning them all into gays. They were gaying out the kids. They were queering out the women. They were queering out the dudes. They were, what her first tranny surgery ever was? Happened to be in Germany before Hitler took over. The books that everybody makes fun of Hitler burning? You know what the books was? Queer books. Hitler burned queer books.
Hitler burned queer books? This is Interesting. I mean, this is news breaking stuff here. This is a bombshell. Like I've never heard of any of this. Like, where is he reading this? Why is he believing this?
Because Hitler didn't want a bunch of queers destroying his nation. They can't produce children.
But what,
Okay.
what about
When he
Just
when he
like
got
when-
on meth and he turned on Russia, I believe that's when he kind of went full nutty. And I don't think that he was just like the best dude ever. And when I say I go fishing with him, I'm when he
Just
when
like
he got
when-
on meth and he turned on Russia,
When he got on meth and turned on Russia.
I believe that's when he kind of went full nutty. And I don't think that he was just like the best dude ever. And when I say I go fishing with him, I'm not saying he was the most trustworthy dude or I'd love him or whatever. But at some point in Hitler's life, I don't think he was that bad of a guy. I really don't. And now, was Hitler perfect? No.
Was he perfect? That's where he's going to start. That's the starting point of Hitler. Was he perfect? No. And then to go fishing with, like, I mean, fishing is kind of a dull thing. You just kind of go out there, you throw your line out, and you're supposed to stay quiet because I've heard even fish can hear your footsteps on the embankment. And so to go fishing with anybody, actually to be a best fisherman, you'd go fishing by yourself. So he's not talking about going for a beer with, or how about just going, toe to toe, a couple rounds in the ring. My God, after he said all that awesome stuff about Elon, because he's right about what he was saying with Elon, but then he turns around and says all this crazy stuff. And then Elon, did his little swastika, Sig Heil. We know exactly what that was, bruh.
But he was fighting for his people, okay? And he wanted a pure nation with people. You know what the Jews was doing?
He was fighting for his people. There's liberals, communists. These are Jewish people. And then, the Eastern Europeans, these are... he was going after the trade unionist, right? He was going after, what's the poem says, trade unionist. Then he went after the socialist or the communist. And then he went after the... then he went after the Jews. And so the trade unionist and the Jews and the communists are all Germans. These are all German people. So to say you're purifying the nation by throwing out the people that give a damn, that wants to care about the entire community, trade unionist. So what, you can't, if you're a farmer, if you're a machinist, if you're, the janitors of Germany, you're not allowed to unite, you're not allowed to form an association, you're not allowed to build up your power base, you're not allowed to have a power block. It's important to have a power block. I mean, that would be important.
They was charging interest. Christians aren't allowed to do that. Like
There's
if
plenty of Christians charging interest everywhere on the
I
planet
don't.
right now.
If you need to borrow $1,000, Rolly, I give you $1,000, and
Well-
you wouldn't give me 1,100 back. You'd give me 1,000 back.
Sure, between
But
you and I,
these Jews were controlling his country, bro. But
it's just
Elon is
bad to take out a whole, to put a whole race into camps. With
right,
Jewish
and
people-
that's
Jewish
what
people
your
that are
public
working-
education will tell you, Rolly, because you believe your public education because you haven't done your own research. When you realize there's no possible way they could have burned.
Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was a German and a Jewish person. You could be both, to think that because you were born in the country of Germany that you cannot adopt, the religion of your choice. I mean, my God, this Bryce Mitchell, he started off so good, when he criticized Elon, and he criticized Elon like nearly perfect. And then this is the first episode of his podcast. So basically this has been bugging him for a while, and he wanted to get it off of his chest. And, I can understand when you first start thinking about the issues, you're always told that Hitler is bad and Lincoln is good. So to be skeptical, you would say, well, heck, maybe that's not true. Then you do your own research, and, it's good to be skeptical, but that's the right conclusions. Lincoln was great. Lincoln was incredible. Hitler was despicable and awful. Germany was, in dire straits, and so they basically picked a madman to lead them. A madman, a suicidal madman, who was, racist and anti-Semitic and had a lot of even self-hatred for himself. He had Jewish folks in his own ancestry. He wasn't blonde-haired, blue-eyed, the ideal thing of the Aryan nation. He wasn't even, what he was talking about. So that makes no damn sense at all.
And cremated 6 million bodies, you're going to realize that they did not, the Holocaust ain't real.
The Holocaust ain't real. The Holocaust ain't real. So, yeah, he did say a lot of crazy stuff. And then what is this? Oh, he got hit right in the face right there. Right hand, overhand. If you blink, you will miss this KO. That's how quick Josh Emmett overhand was. The last KO of the year, and it was a devastating one. Let's see here. He wants us, now here, he's going to talk about Ben Shapiro, and he's going to take his, he's going to take his shirt off.
Lay one little greasy finger on Candace. I tell you right now, fuck you, Ben Shapiro. I'll beat your ass. And look, if you mess with Candace Owens, I promise you, if you lay one little greasy finger on Candace Owens, I'm going to beat your ass. I'm going to roll up on you, shirts off. I'm going to have the twins with me. We're going to beat your ass because you mess with Candace Owens. We're going to be looking, shirts off, me in the middle. We're going to look like a 6-foot-tall Oreo coming at you, buddy. We're going to stomp your ass to the ground. Don't you mess with Candy, baby. I'm telling you right now, I don't like Ben Shapiro. I'll say it to his face. Bring him on the show. Because he wants Christian people in this country that he already steals their tax dollars off of. He's part of this corrupted government. He's a piece of shit just like the rest of them. He wants us to go die to bomb Muslim kids for his Jewish people because he's too scared to do it. How come Ben Shapiro, since he's all about this war, how come he don't sign up for the army? Because he's a bitch. Straight up. I tell you right now, fuck you, Ben Shapiro. I'll beat you.
I didn't hate that either. It's okay to criticize Israel. It's okay to criticize a genocidal regime. It's okay to criticize the rape and the murder and the arson and the stealing and the assault. It's okay to criticize the crime, criticize the criminal who does the crime, but to discriminate against them based upon their color, their gender, their age. It makes no sense to discriminate against anybody for any reason whatsoever. Here's a couple headlines I want to read. UFC's Bryce Mitchell cancels fight versus Israeli fighter, teases big fight coming up. Let's see here. Bryce Mitchell pulls out of karate combat grappling bout just days from the grudge match. Not hard to imagine why John Silva wants Hitler apologist Bryce Mitchell. Post-fight call-out, Bryce Mitchell, John Silva. Let's see. John Silva vows to educate Bryce Mitchell. UFC fighter who praised Hitler explains why he thinks the earth is flat. Okay, so this is the last video. He starts out so good, right? Criticizing Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro isn't going over, and fighting. He's not joining up for the military. He does want other people to fight his battles for him. When it comes to Elon Musk, he's right on the money with Elon Musk. But now Bryce Mitchell is going downhill. He got a couple, viral moments. And now he's going to go viral, being a damn Hitler-loving apologist. And now he's going to go straight. He's going to go straight flat earther. Check us out. Bryce Mitchell's a flat earther.
Dude, I'm not stupid. Let me tell you what I mean. Here's a picture of the circle of the earth, supposedly, if you believe in a globe. And the red circle is the helicopter. When the helicopter ascends above the Earth's surface, it now has a larger flight path around the Earth. As in, when the Earth, the inside circle, the black circle, does one full rotation, the red circle, or the flight of the helicopter, actually has to cover more distance to get back to the same spot. That's what I meant, okay? If you don't understand geometry of spheres and circles, that's going to go right over your head. But what I said makes perfect sense, and I'm actually a lot smarter than a lot of y'all think. Some of y'all can't even keep up with me. That's the sad part. This is basic geometry. Some of y'all might not be able to understand what I'm saying. But God bless you, and I meant, okay? If you don't, the black circle does one.
So I can understand your picture. I can understand. So because a helicopter takes a longer distance to fly around the Earth, and therefore the Earth is not round, we got a whole bunch of evidence. Whenever you see a ship coming over the horizon, you'll see the top of the ship first. How about an eclipse on the moon? Whenever you see a lunar eclipse, you'll see the shadow of the Earth on the moon's surface. What about the pictures from space of Earth being a round ball? And just because you look around and it looks flat, you know how terrible science that is? Well, I looked around, I looked outside and it looks flat. No, yeah, you looked outside and it looks flat, huh? So then, there you go. Well, shit, you figured it out. It's like, my God, if you haven't even figured out that the earth is round, you haven't really figured out a lot of things. There's a lot of things you need to start making conclusions on.
Full rotation, the red circle, or the flight of the helicopter, actually has to cover more distance to get back to the same spot. That's what I meant, okay? If you don't understand geometry of spheres and circles, doing your own research, there is no proof that the earth rotates.